Renegade Immortal Episode 96. May I ask which senior has graced us with your presence? Tell this little kid for me, who this old man is.
Et Situ Nan, the second generation Vermilion Bird.
Dun Tian probably never dreamed that after cultivating for 1,000 years, he would one day be called a little kid. As we know from the last episode, in the Immortal Graveyard, Zhuque Zi sacrificed 90% of his lifespan to snatch the fourth soul from Dun Tian. However, just as Zhuque Zi was about to kill Dun Tian, Wang Lin suddenly appeared. Wang Lin not only saved Dun Tian but also gave Zhuque Zi the daunting feeling of meeting an ancient ancestor. Since you've guessed this old man's identity, the possessed Wang Lin said, you must also know my rules. Are you just going to leave like that? Hearing this, Zhuque Zi gritted his teeth and immediately cut off 2 of his own fingers to atone for his offense. However, Wang Lin declared that 2 fingers were not enough, he needed 1 more before he would be allowed to leave. So, Zhuque Zi gritted his teeth again and severed another finger. And just like that, Zhuque Zi dejectedly left the Corpse-Refining Sect.
À 100 ans lieues, Zhuque Zi let out a roar of rage at the sky. The second generation Vermilion Bird.
How can he still be alive? How is he on Planet Vermilion Bird? How is this possible, he wondered. Based on the personality of the second generation Vermilion Bird described in the historical texts, he knew he would never have been shown such mercy. Although Zhuque Zi guessed that the second generation Vermilion Bird's power had not fully recovered, he didn't dare go back to test the waters. After all, that was the second generation Vermilion Bird. If he guessed wrong, he would be annihilated, with not even dust remaining. Meanwhile, back in the Corpse-Refining Sect, because Wang Lin had been possessed by Situ Nan, his eyes were tightly shut and his face was filled with pain. Dun Tian carefully examined Wang Lin, and suddenly, his expression changed drastically.
Possession.
Seeing his precious successor being possessed, Dun Tian unhesitatingly raised his right hand and pointed at Wang Lin's glabella to help him resist. However, just as his finger was about to touch Wang Lin, a voice instantly shouted, "Stop.
You little kid, you were so reckless just now. Can't you tell the gravity of the situation?
If it were my former temper, I would have slapped you to death with a single palm strike." As the voice faded, a green light flashed from Wang Lin's forehead, transforming into a tall middle-aged figure. As soon as this person appeared, he exuded such a powerful aura that the sky began to pour with rain. The middle-aged man looked up and roared, "Disperse for me. Did I tell you to rain?" Following his roar, the clouds in the sky instantly shattered, and even the raindrops that had already fallen were violently swept away. Dun Tian stared blankly at this scene, speechless for a long time. Wang Lin, however, wore a wry smile. It turned out that before the Vermilion Bird's fire arrived, he had already broken through to the soul transformation stage. It's just that in the battle between Zhuque Zi and Dun Tian, he couldn't interfere. Fortunately, with Wang Lin's breakthrough, Situ Nan awakened in the heaven-defying space. Before the two could even reminisce, Situ Nan sensed the situation outside, possessed Wang Lin's body, and scared Zhuque Zi away. Afterwards, Wang Lin asked Situ Nan why he forced Zhuque Zi to cut off his fingers. "Because I am Situ Nan," he replied. Domineeringly, Situ Nan glared at Dun Tian.
"Just now, you, little kid, almost ruined my grand plan. What for soul?
If I had let that little sparrow chick see through the ruse, I, who just woke up today, would have to go back to sleep again." After all, Dun Tian was an old monster who had cultivated for over 1,000 years, yet he was being called a little kid. At this moment, he could only smile wryly.
"May I ask, Seigneur, are you?"
Situ Nan gestured to Wang Lin. "Tell this little kid for me who this old man is." "He is Situ Nan," Wang Lin said. Hearing this, Dun Tian thought for a long time but didn't know who Situ Nan was. "The second generation Vermilion Bird," Wang Lin added. When he heard second generation Vermilion Bird, Dun Tian's eyes showed a look of shock. He finally understood why Zhuque Zi was scared away by Situ Nan. After all, the fame of the second generation Vermilion Bird even surpassed that of the first generation. A moment later, Dun Tian took a deep breath. Junior Dun Tian of the Corpse-Refining Sect pays his respects to Senior. Afterwards, Situ Nan, in consideration of Dun Tian having protected Wang Lin and gifting him the Billion Soul Banner, agreed to help restore the legacy of the Corpse-Refining Sect.
A smile bloomed on Dun Tian's face.
He had dedicated his entire life to the Corpse-Refining Sect. Now, with the second Generation Vermilion Bird personally promising to protect its legacy, Dun Tian was completely satisfied. With a smile on his lips, he sat cross-legged on the ground and slowly closed his eyes. Situ Nan awakened at a critical moment in the immortal graveyard, possessing Wang Lin and scaring away Zhuque Zi. However, Dun Tian, having already sacrificed what little remained of his lifespan, was now on the verge of death. I, Dun Tian, in this life, am willing to erase my divine sense to become the soul of the soul banner, he declared. I can die with a smile. His mind flashed back 1,000 years.
On a Renegade on a mountain pass, bandit ad rampaged, living a scene of chaos. A young boy criait helplessly in the rain.
Just then, an old man emerged from the night. He stroked the boy's head and with a kind smile asked, "Are you willing to come with me?" And so, in the Corpse-Refining Sect, the boy gradually grew into a man. To follow in the old man's footsteps, he cultivated diligently, day after day and year after year, finally achieving the soul formation realm. The old man gave him the Taoist name Dun Tian. As his benevolent master soul was about to enter the soul banner, Dun Tian made a solemn vow to protect the Corpse-Refining Sect with his life. All of this was because of that one sentence, "Are you willing to come with me?" "Master, your disciple has come to see you." With that, Dun Tian smiled and slowly closed his eyes, his soul quietly entering the soul banner. At this moment, Wang Lin stared blankly at Dun Tian, who had passed away with a smile. The next second, he suddenly dropped to his knees and performed 3 deep, solemn kowtows. "Senior, although you were not my master, you were like a true master to me. Wang Lin will never forget this in his life." In truth, Wang Lin and Dun Tian hadn't known each other for long, but Dun Tian's kindness to him was unforgettable. After this, Wang Lin raised his head and looked towards the Vermilion Bird Nation, a cold glint flashing in his eyes. "Zhuque Zi, for the destruction of the Corpse-Refining Sect, I, Wang Lin, will one day come to you to settle this debt." With Dun Tian's death, the Corpse-Refining Sect arc comes to an end. Next, Wang Lin and Situ Nan will head to the land of the extreme north, because there lies a physical body that Situ Nan has been dreaming of. As the two were flying, Situ Nan glanced at Wang Lin's mosquito beast. "Hey," he said, "what kind of demonic beast is this? Where did you get it? I'm going to catch one for myself to play with." Hearing this, the mosquito beast was so frightened it nearly fell from the sky. But Wang Lin just smiled and tossed a jade slip to Situ Nan. "If you dare to go here, you can catch as many mosquito beasts as you want." Unexpectedly, after Situ Nan took the jade slip and scanned it with his divine sense, his expression changed dramatically.
"Ah, forget it, I don't want one anymore."
It turned out the jade slip, from the ancient god Zhuque Zi's memory, recorded the location of an unfamiliar starfield teeming with mosquito beasts. However, Situ Nan was not one to give up easily. So along the way, Wang Lin couldn't stand his relentless pestering and finally lent him the mosquito beast. After all, in Wang Lin's heart, besides Li Muan, the only person in this world he could completely trust was Situ Nan. As the two were talking, Situ Nan suddenly looked into the distance. It turned out that ahead, a large group of the immortal celestial clan were making offerings at their ancestral tomb.
Wang Lin, you es formeir. Yelel biraigt back.
With that, his figure flashed and instantly vanished. At the same time, all the ascendant cultivators on Planet Vermilion Bird sensed a wild and powerful aura. In the eastern part of the Vermilion Bird continent, shrouded in a dense black fog, the 5th ancestor of the immortal celestial clan withdrew his gaze with a gloomy expression. Standing before him was Elder Sima of the Corpse-Refining Sect. However, with his lower cultivation level, Elder Sima was unable to detect the fluctuations of Situ Nan's aura. "Elder Sima," the 5th ancestor said, "let us begin."
"Ah.
Good." It turned out, Elder Sima's purpose on this trip was to offer the corpse of a giant demon clan member to help the immortal celestial clan's ancestral tree grow more lush. Then, a wave of black gas, mixed with the stench of rot, surged out from the coffin. As we know, after the events in the immortal graveyard, Wang Lin and Situ Nan headed to the land of the extreme north together in search of a physical body. However, on the way, they encountered the immortal celestial clan making offerings to their ancestral spirit tree. Situ Nan, of course, would not miss such an opportunity. At that moment, Situ Nan snuck into the ancestral spirit tree and began devouring its nutrients at an astonishing speed. In just a few breaths, the tree instantly collapsed. This sudden turn of events enraged the immortal celestial clansman to the extreme. Heh, it tasted damn awful, Situ Nan commented. If I'd known it would taste this bad, this old man wouldn't have eaten it. Meanwhile, among the immortal celestial clan's ancestors, an old man stared at Situ Nan with bloodshot eyes. This was one of the clan's 5 ancestral spirit trees, carefully cultivated for tens of thousands of years. Once the tree matured, it could be combined with their reverse technique to create a powerful spellmaster. But now, someone had devoured the ancestral spirit tree right under his nose. How could he not be furious? I'll kill you, the old man roared, furiously pursuing Situ Nan. When this old man gets a physical body, I'll teach this method to Wang Lin. Then the two of us will devour together, Situ Nan thought. While flying, he used his divine sense to quickly locate Wang Lin. And so, having stirred up a hornet's nest, Situ Nan fled with Wang Lin in tow. But during the escape, Situ Nan showed no fear. He would occasionally slow down to deliberately wait for the pursuing elder. It turned out that Situ Nan planned to fuse with the physical body and then devour the immortal celestial elder. This would not only shorten his recovery time but also eradicate an ascendant stage spellmaster from the immortal celestial clan. At this moment, in the land of the extreme north, a young boy was tightly encased in red ice. This boy was the demon child released by Sun Tai of the Corpse-Refining Sect during his battle with the giant demon clan's ancestor. However, this demon child's background was extraordinary. Sun Tai had obtained him on another planet. Not only was he a naturally perfect vessel for possession, but he had also been meticulously refined by Sun Tai for 1,000 years. His physical body was already comparable to that of a mid-stage soul transformation cultivator.
One day, three streaks of light cut across the sky.
With a single glance, Wang Lin spotted the demon child in the red ice from a distance. Situ Nan laughed heartily and turned to look at the rapidly approaching elder. This land of the extreme north, before my physical body was destroyed, I cultivated here for many years. I know the restrictions here like the back of my hand. With that, his right hand quickly formed a seal and waved to the side. In an instant, the ice in the land of the extreme north radiated with golden light. These lights gathered at an astonishing speed and then suddenly burst forth. Just as the immortal celestial clan elder pursued them into the area, the entire world was suddenly enveloped in a dazzling white light.
Polar mystic light.
However, the old man just sneered. As a native of Planet Vermilion Bird, he recognized the origin of this white light at a glance. Seeing this, Situ Nan's figure moved, charging straight for the old man. The old man looked up sharply, the runes in his hand instantly transforming into countless fine threads that entangled towards Situ Nan. Situ Nan laughed out loud and didn't dodge at all. Instead, he met the threads head-on and drilled into the old man's body. Get out! The elder slapped his right hand hard against his forehead, and a 9-leaf plant instantly appeared at his glabella. The moment this plant appeared, Situ Nan drilled out from the old man's body. The 9-leaf item instantly wrapped around the demon child's ice, encasing both the boy and the old man together. Situ Nan and the elder were now deeply trapped in the 9-power mist. At this moment, within the mist, there were 3 blocks of ice. Situ Nan's face showed delight. His figure moved, and he abruptly entered the boy's body. Wang Lin, it won't be long before this old man can fully recover his cultivation. I'll come find you then. In the meantime, you must be careful of Zhuque Zi. Don't let it be that you've already kicked the bucket before this old man gets out. Next episode, Zhuque Zi appears. Fellow Taoists, please don't be stingy with your likes. We'll continue in the next episode.